life. That was sad.
I want to listen to Lil Wayne's really old shit. Should I listen to '04 Wayne? I should listen to '04 Wayne.
Where's it? There it is.
I should listen to 2002 Lil Wayne. Or
Ew.
99 Lil Wayne.
Where's
Ew.
I'm Just the Problem? There it is.
He actually made shit in the late 90s. I want to see if there's any song that I might want to.
Let's go to samples. Where's that Paper Mario shit? Here it is.
There's nothing shit about Paper Mario.
Shut up. Yo, can you guys check out my stream for me?
What?
Oh, yeah, what?
Can you guys check out my stream for me?
Oh, so we were both listening to music so we can drown out whatever you were saying. We still responded.
Link me.
You know, every time I make my music, I zone you the fuck out. Because you're not important.
Just link me.
I mean, I don't
I
know.
don't need to link you. Just check out my fucking channel. Because if I link you, they're going to see the damn stream key, and I don't got time for that.
What, you're streaming on YouTube?
Yeah. Bowser Rage sample.
I don't want to YouTube. Fuck it, I'll just watch it over here on my PlayStation because no one has fucking time.
I'm so like unorganized when it comes to like samples and shit.
Uber. Lil Wayne made music in the late 90s.
Huh?
Lil Wayne made music in the late 90s.
Yeah, that's when he first started coming out.
That's so bad. It didn't even sound like Wayne. It sounds 90s. 90s isn't necessarily bad.
I'm the search up hashtag suicide on the when I can. No, it's just emo's not doing suicide.
It's not. It's emo's not doing suicide. Ooh. Callum just came out with a new video.
This person's like 11.
Callum literally just came out with a new video 2 minutes ago. Already has views.
I mean, if it wasn't emo, I'd like that song.
Ah, fuck.
Oh, that's gross.
Let me unmute my TV.
I mean, if it wasn't emo,
oh, yep. Yeah, it's good. Grace Laser 4.
Oh wow, this is almost exactly on the dot.
I mean, as long as they can't hear us, I'm fine.
They can't
Yeah.
when the music plays
Oh shit.
They can hear
because
themselves.
huh? Yeah, I know they
They
can,
can,
but they can't hear you guys when the music plays.
yeah, yeah. But they can still hear us, man.
Shut up.
What? What did I do?
Joke's on us. We are the sample.
We are.
Actually, if my laptop didn't die, we could probably make something out of the dank memes I've slapped.
Yo, the fucking I have
Wait, what?
I have
I could probably make something.
I'm gonna.
I'm gonna mute you guys real quick.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Damn.
Bowser. Bowser Rage. Remix. Let me see. God, that's awful. That's awful. That's how you do it. Yeah.
Uber beats on the track.
Okay. Um. I just need to rearrange something real quick. I guess we should just start the beat
Uber beats
here,
on the
because I
track.
think that's what we should do. So I'm gonna start the tag around here. I'm gonna drag this tag a little bit to the here, and then I'm gonna put this tag in this track over here, and then we can make this a little bit louder. So let's actually put a compressor on it, or we could have just put a reverb on it, whichever one.
Uber beats on the track.
No, not attack.
Uber beats on the track. Uber beats on the track.
There we go. That's better. All right. So we got that. Oh yeah. Then there's another part of the song that I wanted to do. There we go. That's a perfect loop. All right. So what I'm trying to do for this part is I'm trying to make the whole like I'm trying to make like the sample I'm trying to like cut out. I'm trying to make the sample loop together. So like it won't sound like when one part of the sample is there, then it won't loop back to the other part of the sample, or it won't loop back all together. It will just be one complete loop. So like, it will stay like that forever. And that's usually what hip hop beats are usually like. They're basically repetitive. But despite them being repetitive, they're also nice to listen to. So let's go cut this up. I'm gonna call this Bowser Rage Sample 2 because obviously I don't really feel like putting all that into much detail or anything. So let me go back to the samples folder, and then I'm going to. Don't mind these guys; they're just there. I'm pretty sure they're talking in a call. I just muted them for a minute. Oh wait, they can hear me, can they? Hold up. Yeah, they can hear me. Yeah, I know they are. They're probably laughing right now.
We weren't muted.
Yeah, what's up, guys? I didn't know I was muted for a second. But yeah, I'm gonna mute you guys again. Okay, bye. Yeah, they're just there. I don't know why they both look like Nick, but they're just there. So let me go ahead and just mute myself on this call real quick. Okay. Back to the whole beat and everything before that whole distraction fucked me over. We're gonna go back to this Paper Mario. We're gonna reread the structure, and the sample should pop up. So since this is basically the same as this sample, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just put up to 8 bars because that's how long it was, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's about good. All right, I'm gonna save this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're gonna cut around here. Let's just save that part for like somewhere around there. This here, and then this here. So it's gonna be like 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Because each of this sample is basically 4 bars. And usually when you have a rapper or anybody like that, a producer that does like producing or anything like that, when a rapper does a rap on a beat, usually it's supposed to be 16 bars. So this would be 4, 4, 4, 4. And you know, obviously 4 times 4, since there's 4 of these samples, that'll be 16. So that's 16 bars. I don't know why I'm using math in this whole entire like fucking like live stream thing, but I am. So fucking deal with it. Now I believe I think it's time that I should add the hip hop kits to this shit now. Usually what I would use is I'll use the Lex Luger drum kit. I'll use sometimes I'll use the Mike Will made it or the official 2013 Mafia. Sometimes I'll use some shits from there. I haven't used some of these though. I probably have used some of this, but I never really tried anything. Trap Squad. The reason why I have this is because there's one snare that I really like from because there's this one snare that I really wanted and I couldn't find it in any other hip hop kits. Like no matter what hip hop kits, like that's why I downloaded all these shits right here because I was trying to look for one snare and this is the only snare I'm trying to find. It's very faint and you barely can hear it, but it's the snare that I was looking for. And you know, it's not hard to like boost up the sound of it. I can always just boost the sound of it by using the channel volume. Let me reset that. Using the channel volume, or we can just use the mixer, and you can put like a compressor on it so it can, you know, go louder, or we can put reverb, and with the reverb this will, oh wait, that's the wrong reverb, oops. Yeah, and with reverb too, you can like make it like higher with the dryness, and with the dryness it's basically like how loud you want it to be, you know, and shit like that. Oh look, Kimmy's in the call. Anyway, so let's reset that. And but yeah, usually I just use compressor. I mean, I would have used limiter if I wanted to, but the thing about limiter is it has a ceiling, limiter ceiling, and usually you're supposed to do that when you're mixing and mastering and shit like that. So I'd rather not mess with that at all when it comes to like turning up certain instruments. Or you can just use the whole volume on the mixer instead. Like, you know, it's no big deal. So let me go ahead and just replace this with none. Now this is the whole. Now this whole part right here is just the beginning. Because I really feel like what I should do is I want to make this part. Not to say like. All right. This might be hard to explain. This is gonna be like the hook part. This is just like this. All these right here is like all 16. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. All right, that's 16 bars. That's basically like a whole hook or a whole verse if you wanted to. So after these, fucking like, hold on. Let me actually no. This will actually be easier if I just use the time marks, because the time marks will actually help me. Your time markers, add one. Alright, so we're going to put the beginning, right? This is going to be the beginning. We're going to put the beginning, like, right here. Probably, I guess at the beginning of it, because that's where everything begins. So this is beginning. Okay, you already know. And then after this sample right here, that's when the real actual verse starts. So we're going to go for the time markers here. We're going to add one. And this is going to be, verse 1, or you know, like beginning part, beginning phase, I guess you can say. So this is verse 1. So with verse 1, you know, you have 16, bam, that's right there. So then next up, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this part, since this usually will be the hook part. I would just have this, drag this over here, and then put a time marker there. And then we'll call this the hook marker. Simple enough as it is. Now when it comes to this tag and shit, usually a lot of producers, they will put like the tag throughout like the whole beat, and that's the one thing I hate about it, because it's like you can't really enjoy the whole beat without hearing the fucking tag or shit like that. Like I don't know, like during like, I guess like maybe somewhere around near the verse or near the hook, you would hear Uber or some shit like that, you know what I mean? Just an example of like what I mean by like fucking like tag overusage and shit. That fucking that really does irritate me. It irritates me a lot. So what I would do is usually I would use some of these kits around here. But what I really want to do is I would rather use my favorites. But I don't have my favorites folder. This is basically just all the custom. This is all just for me. This is all the things that I liked from every single, because I listened to every single kit except for these two, because these are actually pretty like old hip hop type kits. Well, except for the Hex Loop, but um all the hip hop kits that I listened to except for these two, I actually put it into this folder. It's not done yet because there are actually some things that are missing in here, so I will have to worry about that later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use an example hip hop kit, and we're just going to use the Lex Luger one because Lex Luger actually has some pretty good sounds on here. So we're gonna. I like a kick that it's kind of like this. I don't like kicks like that. I don't know why. I just don't like it when it has sub bass in it. You can hear a little bit of sub bass in there, like the doom doom. Like, you know, I don't like that. This is for when you wanna, like, for me, I kind of make it as like a difference, like in different categories. Like there are some kicks that are like really super fast. Like for example, when I did the Univa King beat, usually when the trap beats or hip hop beats, the kick patterns are supposed to be like far away from each other. So like you have like boom, 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 something like, you know, something like that. But with kicks like these, where it's like small and short, you can make like a whole different like combo patterns of like kicks, and it will sound fucking awesome. And that's usually for like fast paced songs or like fucking like, you know, something like Tech 9 Worldwide Choppers or some shit. You know what I mean? But you know, that's just how I look at how the kicks are. Some of these are fast, some of these are not. This one, I don't know how the hell you can make this a kick. I don't know. This one is like kind of like one of those hard hitting kicks. It's like really powerful. I know some really good ones too. Like for example, I'm gonna go to my favorites folder. This one right here. This is a very powerful fucking kick, and usually I wouldn't use that at all because it's really fucking, it really hits hard, and you don't want to like. And usually, I mean, it's nice to have like a hard kick and a nice booming bass, especially like for people that wear like headphone beats like I do. But at the same time, it's like when it comes to mixing and mastering, when you have the kick and the bass hitting the like throughout the song too hard, it's gonna override throughout like the whole frequency, and it's gonna fuck up the whole like beat or song in general. So you don't want to do that. So just for now, I'm just gonna use this kick, and I'm gonna just drag this into here. I don't know why. I feel like I'm giving you a tutorial when I should really just be making this whole entire beat in general. Now this is just gonna be like just a quick little beat or something. So let's go and use this kick maybe, or I mean not kick, snare. I don't know. I will use this because I don't know why I've been liking. It was this one, and these ones. Someone like when you hear the snare and the clap together, it just sounds nice to me. I don't know why, it just does. So I might actually just have this instead. Now, so usually you have the kick, you have the snare. You can have two snares if you want. Usually it'll be like a backup snare, something that you like, a snare roll that you hear in the background. I would sometimes have that. But yeah, like you have the kick, you have the snare, then there's the hi-hats and the open hats. Now the hi-hats closed, which is the hi-hats. They're basically like the things you hear, like the basically like kind of like this. That's the hi-hat. That's a hi-hat. As for open hats, I really can't explain how open hats are a thing. I don't know. It's like you hear this, right? It's kind of like I'll usually will use this one when I want to add it to like the snare. So like for example, when like the snare like comes through, like you hear the boom tap, kind of like that. Like the tap is the snare, tap, and it's like it provides like an extra sound to the snare, which I like to do a lot. Now these two are kind of like my favorite. The other ones can really just fuck off. So I'd rather just use this one. I like this one. But first, let me just find a hi-hat to use. Alright, let's use number 5. Fuck. Number 5. Number 4. Alright, so just for argument's sake, or just for like to keep yourself like knowing what the hell things are, let's just name this kick, and then we're gonna name this snare, and then we're gonna name this hi-hat. I mean, we could have named it hat close, but I'd rather just name it hi-hat, and this is gonna be the open hat. Bam. Now we got the whole thing set up. This is gonna be sample 1, and then this is just gonna be renamed as sample 2, because we don't want shit to be mixed up. Now there's some other things that you can add, like these crashes here. You can add that if you want to. These symbols. I never used this. I don't think I want to anytime soon, unless I'm making like some Chinese fucking like Kodo type music. But I don't think I really need to do that. Now this is like a transition. Usually like it'll transition from one part of the beat to the next. And that's like a nice way to like make it like a switch up. You know what I mean? As for claps, I don't think I really need any claps. Now here's the basses. Now basses for me on hip hop and trap beats are like the #1 thing that I usually have, because it either symbolizes the hook of the beat, or it symbolizes the just like the whole hype of the beat in general. And depending on which bass you use, it kind of affects the way how the whole remix kind of like sounds. So usually I don't have like no soft ass fucking like bass, as you guys already know. Like the bass is loud enough for you to hear it, so it's not fucking soft and shit like some fucking like example tutorial beat. I like this. You could barely hear it, but I like it. Ooh, I like that one. This one right here, can't really hear much. You don't hear much beat. You don't hear much bass on that one. I think someone just got on my Twitter. Let me see something real quick. Oh, it's you. No one likes you. Anyway. You can hear a little bit of a kick in there, but that's fine. Because sometimes when it comes to the kick and the bass, they give a little bit of oomph to each other. Because without the kick, the bass will really just sound like less thumpy than it does with the kick. So it's kind of like it's whatever. That's what I usually have. Then you got the effects here. No one really cares about the effects, but there are chants. And usually sometimes in hip hop beats they always have chants, so and this one right here at the end, I added that to the drum kit myself, because usually I thought that would be in the beat or in the drum kit. So I just have that one there, like for itself. But I don't know. I haven't used this. I haven't used this little woman voice thingy in like a while. So I might soon. I don't know. Don't really know. But I might use this chant right here. I don't know. Now, let's, instead of just getting all worried about like how you want the beat to sound, let's actually just worry about like let's just skip the fucking the basic part of the beat. Let's first focus on the first bar, or the quarter of the verse 1. I'm gonna first do the snare first, because that's what I usually do first before doing anything. So let's turn this into snare. Let's make this yellow, because why not? And we're gonna have that right here. And usually what I would do is, no, not the bass drop. Let's have the snare there. There we go. Now usually what I do is I'll always have it on song and have the snare pattern placed down in there. So when you actually have it on the piano roll, it'll play throughout the song and you'll see the time mark there. You'll see the time mark there. Actually, let me take this sample too real quick and let's just put this in the track 1, because that's going to get in the way. It's still a little bit too loud though. I'm not even gonna lie with you. Take that off. I don't know why the hell that was even on. Let me take these real quick. Actually put these into starting from this track. Bam. Alright. Now let's get back into this piano roll. Okay, so let's have it here, here, and here. You know, the one thing I noticed is that the sample itself actually has a snare pattern into it too. So what I would usually do is, when shit like this happens, you just basically just make the snare a little bit louder than usual. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna just play it through the pattern, and I'm gonna try to make this sound a lot clearer than it does now, like so. I already gotta turn off those Twitter notifications. I mean, let's make it sound a little bit louder than usual. So let me give it a little oomph to it. I think that would be good. Yeah, that sounds about right. Let me see. And then sometimes you might have to add like a fucking like a reverb, not the reverb 1, but the reverb 2. You might want to add that sometimes. Alright, so we got the snare down. Now it's time for the kick. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just put the paramedic EQ first before we actually do the kick. So let's actually let's use this first, because I have a preset for this kick. Now this preset is only for when I want the kick to be really fucking loud, like for so. Like you hear that, like it's really like the kick hits really fucking hard, and that was the preset that I wanted to make for the kick. But I realized that sometimes the kick could be a little bit too loud, so I have to like turn it down. So I would just lower this down, lower that down, and then, you know, basically you have the kick right here. Like, you know, it still kicks, but you know, it's not as loud as it used to be. Let's see here. Uh-oh. I hear somebody crying in the background. That's not cool. So let's turn this into the kick. Now since the snare was yellow, let's make this color red. And turn this into a red kick snare thingy. Actually, better yet, let me see how the call is going. Let me see how these guys are going. Just turn them up real quick. Turn this into the kick. Since the snare was yellow, let's make this. Yo guys.
Yo.
Hi.
How you guys doing? I hear my stream in there.
Yeah, that's William. You want to AFK real quick?
Yeah.
We're
Alright.
listening to it like it's radio.
Yeah. Alright, well, I was just checking on you guys. So, yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna go back to the shit.
Alright.
Okay. Alright. So, back to this shit right here. We got the kick. Let's see what pattern we can use. First we need to put this in piano roll because obviously we're not gonna have the fucking snare anymore. And this is the kick pattern. So now we're gonna go and just implement some kicks here. So first off, what I'll do is I always put the kick at the start. Bam, just right there at the start of it. And then somewhere around here. Or maybe we can like do something special. No, that ain't gonna work. Let's try this part. Maybe this right here. This is actually a lot better. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we need to turn on the sample a little bit because the sample is a little bit too loud. I'm not even gonna lie with you. So let's actually turn this down probably around 82%, 80%. Yeah, this is, I don't like how the kick sounds. The kick, it's not like the kick how it sounds, but like the pattern of it doesn't sound right. Let's try this then. No. Okay, let's try here. Okay, there we go. This actually sounds a little bit better. All right, let's try that now. Right here. Yeah, this sounds right. There we go. That sounds better. Alright, that sounds alright for now. Let's see, maybe we should add the hi-hat now. So let's make another pattern, pattern 3, and we're gonna rename this the hi-hat roll. Rule, hi-hat rule. Anyway, hi-hat roll. We're gonna rename this to the color of, why not, light blue. I like the color of light blue. It looks nice. It actually does look nice. I don't know why. It just looks nice on FL Studio. So with the hi-hat roll, you can do many things with the hi-hat roll. You can make it into fill with 2 steps, so make it sounds like this. Which actually that doesn't sound pretty bad. Then there's the 4 steps, where it's just a little bit spaced out. Or you can do it with 8 steps, which is really spaced out, so it's only 2, so I have to like add another pattern to it. So, but you can barely hear that, obviously. So what I'm going to do is, instead of doing that, let's actually delete this real quick. Turn it to the piano roll, and then we're gonna I'm gonna make my own custom hi-hat roll, because you know you're not gonna just have like the simple tap 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 tap. Not everyone's gonna like that shit. Everyone wants to hear that nice custom hi-hat roll that, you know, because it's like with a custom hi-hat roll, it makes a beat much better than when you actually hear the tap, 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 tap. You know, just that simple shit. No one likes simple shit. That's why everyone likes custom beats and everything, remixes and all that shit, because it sounds nice. So let me go ahead and use chop, and then I want to do something different, because I've always been doing like the same type of like hi-hat roll. Not the same, because all of them are all different. But like I want to do something like over the top, you know what I mean? So let's just see how this sounds for a second. Okay, that just starts off with a brat. I don't know how to fuck that. Let me start right here. And make this right here. That's a little bit too fast. It's probably because of the BPM. BPM makes it way too fast. So let's actually just have it as like this. I think this would be already fast enough. Make this spaced out. Actually, no. Let's have it like chopped up into like 3 parts, because I like that part when it's chopped up into 3. This is tap tap tap. I don't fucking know. No. I'm trying to figure out how to do this, but it always cuts into equal. Yeah, no, that's not gonna sound good. So let's actually just come in between this, chop it up in between this, and then we're just gonna have this beat right over to that, and then make it somewhere around here. Maybe this part right here, make it into like chop like that. Yeah, sort of like that. So like whenever the snare hits, the hi-hat roll will like go like really fucking fast. Or it'll be chopped up really fast. You know what I mean? So we're gonna have this here, and I would paste this over because that's what I usually do. Always copy this and then paste it over. But I'd rather just keep going and then try to figure out how it will sound. I don't know. Yeah, like a two chop there, half chop. No, nigga. I was trying to copy and paste. You over here fucking like doing some weird shit. What I did last time? No. Instead, let's actually make this reversed. So that this, we'll make it here, and then copy those two there. I keep doing the same thing. Keep making that mistake. Here we go. Let's actually put this a little bit higher. Now, usually when it comes to like the notes, if you want to make like a hi-hat sound a little bit higher than it usually does, you can always put on like an E note or F note, basically a note that's higher than C. And usually it does sound higher, but when every time it sounds higher, it sounds much quieter. So usually what you would have to do is you have to make sure that the hi-hat roll actually gets chopped up a lot, and then you will actually hear the sound of it. But I'm going to chop this up into small pieces, and then we're gonna just small pieces here. There we go. No. Yeah, I think that'd be right. That was a little bit too fast. A little bit too fast. I don't like that. Maybe I should put like a, and then have this. No, I'm trying to copy and paste. Come on. There we go. Put that on here. Let's see something here. Actually, no. I wanna do something like different. I'm trying to figure out how to make this sound. I don't know. It's whatever at this point. I'm gonna just copy this and then paste it over here. But what I'm gonna do is I want to be the stupid one over here and turn this chop to much smaller. Why is it like that? It sounds like so rapid, bruh. Alright, let's not make that into that. I don't know, maybe we should put it into like two different hi-hat patterns, because you know sometimes I like to switch it up and everything. But I'm not gonna just keep messing around with the damn hi-hat roll, because that's gonna be boring as fuck for one, and that takes a whole lot of time for two. And even though this is a live stream, I really don't feel like holding people up, or I really just don't like showing me being like on here half an hour fucking working on the damn hi-hat roll. So we're gonna just keep it as that for now. And then there's the open hat. Let's make a pattern for it. And let's have open hat. And then we're gonna make this color pink, because you know real niggas wear pink. This ain't even pink. This looks like magenta. Hold up. No? I think that's pink. I don't know. Their colors are all fucked up. It's over here. Put on open hat. And usually what I always do is I always put the open hat in like a pattern of like a kind of like a tss, 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 tss. But usually it depends on how the BPM is, so you might have to like modify it a little bit. So let me see something here. Let me just play this first part. Yeah, so I might have to put it around here. So every two, I guess, like, so these are like kind of like segments to me. So like every two segments, so like starts here, 1 2 1 2. I'll just put it like there. This beat here, and here, then here, and here. Now, usually some producers that I know, like Chaka Louie, or yeah, Chaka Louie, or what's his face, Natsu Fuji. Sometimes they will have like a custom pattern for like open hats. Me, I can't do that because I don't know how to exactly do that. Usually what you have to do is you have to like do like a whole bunch of shit with this. You have to make it like that, and then like that, and like that, and like that, and then make it like that basically. And then when you have like the whole like fucking, then you have to like think of a fucking open hat pattern to fucking use. Now obviously no one has a fucking time to be doing that shit, so I'm not. No, I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. God, I really need to get some fucking medicine. I'm starting to get sick. Let me see. Wait a minute, I just noticed something. The beat sounds a little bit too low. I don't like that. I think it's because of Skype. Let me see something here. No, that's internet connection, not internet connection. I want... No wonder the fucking speakers were all the way down. That's for one. Volume mixer. Now usually when I have Skype open, not sounds. Usually when I have Skype open, they lower this part right here down to like 0. I don't know why, because all the other applications are like up to like fucking 400%, but this one's not even up there. So let's put that up there. Now that's louder than usual. That's how it's supposed to sound. Maybe the kick is a little bit too soft. Let me see. Oh, let me hear it one more time. Maybe it is a little bit too soft, and maybe the snare is a little bit too hard. So let's actually just lower that fucker in dryness level, and then just listen to this part right now. Now, what I'm gonna do is, I'm actually gonna just EQ everything now, because without everything being EQ'd, it won't sound exactly right or the way you want it to sound. And usually not only that, but it makes each instrument clear enough for you to hear them individually, even if other things are like over the beat, like a kick being over the hi-hat roll. If you can take the hi-hat roll and listen to it individually and just disregard any other kick, that means, the person has either mixed it right, or you can just tell, But usually when you have it like unmixed and shit like that, usually you barely might be able to hear some instruments because because it's unmixed. So that means like some instruments are actually a lot lower than others. But for this sake, I'm actually going to just have each instrument. Let me see. Actually, I'm gonna put this down here. I'm gonna put this this right down here. Maybe a little bit higher. Let's actually put it on the G sharp. Yeah, I think that's what it's called, G sharp. Alright, so we got, alright. So we got the G sharp over here, G sharp hi-hat roll. I'm gonna go over here and use the EQ, and then we're gonna put this into the pattern mode, because usually when you have pattern song mode, when you're on pattern mode, it plays the pattern. That's why you can hear like the hi-hat roll instead of like the whole entire thing, because that's what you have in the pattern, which is right here. For the song mode, that's usually everything that's laid on this playlist. but we're going to be on pattern mode because I want to hear this individually. I want to hear this hi-hat roll individually and not worry about any other instrument that's like there. So let me go ahead and just play this real quick, and then I'm just going to EQ it. Now that open hat is really fucking loud. Like really, that shit's really fucking loud. Let me turn that shit down real quick. First I'm gonna EQ it first, and then after that I'm gonna turn that shit down because that's a lot louder than I thought. So I was gonna make it lower, so I'm turning this down here. I'm gonna just take all the rest off, cause fuck all that. All right. Now usually the way I have paramedic EQ them. Now paramedic EQ, it helps edit the frequencies so that way certain instruments can stay in their lane and not fuck around with the other instruments. That's basically how I look at paramedic EQ. The way that the open hat and the hi-hat are paramedic, or how they're EQ'd, is that usually what I'll do is for the snare, I'll usually just make it like someone like this type of custom shit, where it's fucking all over the fucking place. But with the hi-hats and the open hats, I have them limited to like a certain area. It's only limited to this area. That's why this like this circle right here, or this open area right here. This is where the hi-hat's gonna be heard at. And the same thing goes for the open hat. This is where the open hat's gonna be heard at. And the only reason why I'm doing that is because when it comes to the hi-hat and the open hat, you can literally hear them, and the open hat will usually be way too fucking loud, or usually the hi-hat will be way too loud as well, because when you have the hi-hat, the chops in the hi-hat makes the instrument louder. You know what I mean? Like for example, when I use a kick, and sometimes I'll even chop up the kick too. Sometimes in the kick, when there's too many kicks in like one pattern, like for example, like when a kick goes like kind of like that. When a kick goes like that, the kick actually gets louder, much louder than it usually does when it's just like a boom, 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 which is kind of weird. But you have to. But if you really want the kick to be that loud, then be my guest. But what I do is usually when the kick is that loud, I'll actually edit the velocity of it. I will go into the piano roll, and on velocity, usually when you have it there, what I would do is, the bottom part right here is the velocity, or usually where you edit all your other shit. This is the target control. So target control for this is velocity. So usually velocity means like the volume in each part. So like if I wanted to have one part of the hi-hat roll like really really fucking low, I'll put the velocity all the way down here, and you won't even hear it. It will sound like it's an open space over here. But let's put that back to normal because we don't want that shit to fuck up. So let's put that back to normal. And usually I would do this a lot, especially when it comes to like kicks and snares, because sometimes when you have too much of like a chop, like for example, if this was like a kick, if this was like a kick, if this was like, oh, hold on, I gotta put this shit on here. Okay, if this was like a kick or what, or like a snare, that shit would be way too fucking loud. So you have to like make sure it turns down and builds all the way from the ground up. You know what I mean? So that way it will sound like this. It would sound like it sound like it fades in, but it doesn't make like the instrument go too loud. So let me over here put this shit back together. Now I know it might be a little bit difficult understanding what the hell I'm saying, but you know, I'm trying to explain it the best way I can because I'm still amateur at this. I've been producing for like a year now, and I think I really came a long way, especially for like a year. I think I came a long way. Number 5 will have to be the bass drop, pattern 5. Now, for the bass drop is probably one of the biggest assets when it comes to hip hop and trap remixes, because the bass drop makes the whole remix, original beat. It makes it in general. It just makes everything hyped up. Now sometimes some producers will have the bass drop early in the song or early in the beat. Depends on how you want it to go. Others will wait until the hook comes up, and when the hook comes up, then it will be like boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? I'm just giving an example of how like the bass drop will usually sound, because that's how some of them will sound on the radio and shit. So for the bass drop, what I do is I basically just copy the kick pattern and then just paste it into the bass drop pattern. Now, just to make sure that, just to save time and shit, what I would do is I would extend the kick pattern, not extend it, but like extend each kick note to the other kick note, because that way when we have to put it into the bass, we won't have to worry about having to fill those holes in when we get to the bass pattern. So let me go over here, copy this, and then go to the bass drop. And then we're going to just paste it right in here. Now, the problem is when it comes to the bass drops is that sometimes when there's a certain part in a kick, for example, like right around here, when the bass drop is a little bit too close to the other note, when the one note is too close to the other, you will hear an override or some sort. Sometimes you will hear like one note over the other, and that wouldn't sound right, especially when it comes to bass drops, because you wouldn't want to hear that. That would be a little bit. It wouldn't just sound right. Let me just show you. Like you hear that, right? Like you hear, like after this note is finished, it keeps going even after this note is done. And then you have this note right here. It wants to start up as soon as this note is still going. So you will hear two notes at once, and you don't want to hear that, especially when it comes to bass drop. So what you're going to do is, or what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put the attack down to 0. Put the attack down to nothing, basically. And make the hold a little bit more than usual, because I like when the bass holds more than it can usually can, because when it holds the note, it'll be able to sit there until the next note comes up. So for example, if I'm like on the E part of the note, like the boom, then the note will hold on until the next note comes. Boom, so it's like boom, 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 something like that. You know what I mean? I'll show you when I actually get to it. But right now we're just going to just edit this this time thingy. So yeah. Now usually what I'll do is, for the edit the bass melody, because each thing has their own melody. Bass has their own melody too. So usually what I do is, for to make like a bass melody, I will usually play the song mode, and then whichever sounds good enough, I'll just play it. So, or I will just experiment with it. So let's just hear it for a second. Now that's a little bit too loud, as you can obviously tell, and you can barely hear the fucking bass. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to open up Paramedic EQ, and I'm actually going to just go to pattern mode and then listen to this. Just mess around with the fucking EQ a little bit. And then after that, I'm going to have distortion. Now usually when you add the fruity fast distortion, it sounds like that. Now that sounds pretty disgusting. I already know. That sounds really fucking foul. And usually I don't think anyone has ever have to use that type of like distorted bass. So what I usually do is I take down the pressure, because the pressure also involved, because each part, or not the pressure, the threshold, because the threshold affects the way it sounds. I mean, so does the mixer too. So does the mix of it, because usually if you don't have the mix in it, you won't hear the distortion, and the threshold somewhat boosts up the distortion. So it's kind of like the mixer. So like, all right, so let me just play this real quick. You hear that? It sounds exactly the same, but usually when you have the threshold really high up, it makes the bass a little bit louder than it usually does. But I'm actually gonna put the preamp up, so that way you can actually hear the bass drop when it actually happens, and the bass drop will actually have its own volume. Oh shit, that hurts. My throat really hurts from like coughing too much, man. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually have this note right here a little bit boosted up. Yeah, somewhere around here. I gotta fix this shit real quick, so fix it like right here. Well, I don't know. I think it might just be the sample. It might be a little bit too loud. So let me actually just use the compressor here. We're going to just make this sound a little less smaller. All right. So this is. So usually what I did here was I basically I made the bass drop melody, and as the whole entire like remix goes on, I would change the notes of each bass drop note. So like these three right here, they're normal, including this one. But right here in this part, I will have the bass drop go a little bit higher, and then this part right here will be a little bit lower than this one. This one right here, this will be a little bit higher than this one, and this one will be the lowest, and it goes back up to high again. So let me just show you what I mean. You see what I mean there? It makes like a kind of like adds like a little nice little melody to it, and actually sets basses apart from like the whole beat in general. I usually would do a lot more, but right now I'm just streaming and I'm just bullshitting around. So it's just like, and I did set in the description of the stream. I did said I was like, might release it, might not, depends. I don't know. So right now we got the beat. This is usually the whole thing. I think that sounds pretty good. I think that, yeah, that sounds pretty good. But I really do feel like that this Bowser Rage sample is a lot louder than it should be. I don't know. It might just be. That sounds pretty good. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Alright, so now that we got that down, what I'm gonna do is, what I usually do is I would just spread this throughout the whole entire beat, but I'll make it, I'll have it switch up because, you know, you don't want it to sound so repetitive and everything. I mean, unless a rapper wants to rap on it, then yeah, you would make it sound repetitive. In some way it would sound repetitive. But other than that, you really want it, if you want to like have like in like audience to hear it, you wouldn't really want it to sound repetitive. Otherwise, it just wouldn't sound right. Or otherwise people would get bored of it and just be like, this shit is boring. I'm not gonna fucking listen to it anymore. So what I'm gonna do is somewhere around here. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to have like the kicks. I'm gonna have the kick start off first, right? And then holy shit. I'm gonna have the kick start off first. No. So oh. Oh, it's this call. Oh well. No one really likes this call anyway. Everyone likes this call though. No new friends. That's what I'm talking about. No new friends. All about this call. Anyway, so we got this part right here. No, I want to have it like somewhere around here. Yeah, I think that's where I want the bass drop to go. Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah, that seems about right. I don't know. Maybe before we get into that whole hook part, actually I might just end up just streaming a little bit when I actually figure out the first verse. Now, when it comes to the first verse, you would, I mean, of course, it's the most, I guess it would have to be the impressionable verse of the whole like beat, because you know you want to impress them first before you actually try to get them into like the whole beat in general. And no, Dean has the widest vagina. No one cares. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna just have the kick and the bass drop get off, and then it gets to this part. Now, usually what I would do is I would do a switch up beat for this, because I think it's more. I think it'll be wise enough to do like a switch up for this, but I might have to do that for like a whole entire different time. Why is this group still calling? I do not want to call this group. And the call for this group. Leave group. No. No. Add me back later. There. Now, the fucking group should be gone. It's not gone. Alright, whatever. Hey guys, how y'all doing? Let me go and talk to them real quick. The fucking group should be gone.
What did he
Hi.
say? What? Don't say bye
Hey,
to us.
Wind.
Hey, Kimmy.
I said hi.
Give me powers in the tree.
Give you powers in the tree.
What?
Hmm.
I came here just to talk to you guys. Hello.
Oh,
I
hello.
guess,
But
sorry.
Uber, how was that other call?
I wasn't even in there. It fucked up.
Man. I told you that.
Listen, I can only hear bits and pieces through the radio.
Yeah.
Dang it. Sorry.
Okay. Anyway, be right back. Alright. So now back to this beat real quick.
Uber Beats on the track.
Ah, shit, that is pretty fucking loud. Alright, let me turn that damn tag down. Jesus Christ. Hold up. Hold the fuck up. Turn that shit down. Turn that shit down. Is this good?
Uber Beats on the track.
Alright, that's fine. That's better now. Alright. So now we got the whole first verse done. I actually want to do something different for this part though. Let's actually make it to the point where, and somewhere in the middle of this verse, we'll do like a tape stop. If you don't know what I mean by tape stop, then I'll show you in a minute. So I have this plugin for the mixer called D-Blue Tape Stop, and this is where you can be able to actually make it stop. You know, the beat. So it'd be like a kind of like a I'm gonna have to show you. Hold on, let me see. Let's actually do it like right. Somewhere around here. Let's do it. So let's actually put this here, then put the trigger, create automation clip. And when you create the automation clip, it actually it actually controls how the fucking thing will go, or how where it's basically, it makes the plugin control. You control the plugin with the automation clip. That's basically what I'm saying. You control the plugin with the automation clip. I'm really sick and tired of seeing that shit. I'm gonna just take that off. So let's have the tape stop somewhere around here, maybe. Maybe like 100. No, there we go. There we go. I think that's good. You hear that, right? let me just actually take these two. Let me just have these two tracks play together. That's basically what it does. It basically just tape stops it. You know, it's like the wow. Then does that. The wow. And that's usually what it does. You know, you can use a lot. You can use the tape stop a lot, but you know, Gross beat can also be used for the same thing too. But I rather just use the deep blue tape stop for it because no one really has the time to be doing all that shit. You know. So let me just put this all back. There we go. I mean, we could also add a to the master track. We can add because master track affects the whole thing, affects the whole beat in general. So we can add a low filter if we want to. Now I know it sounds weird what I mean by low filter, but you understand what I mean by low filter. Now I used this a few times, and actually I used it in one track on the surfing beat. So let me show you what I mean. Let's actually play it. I guess around here. Let's do it. That's basically the low filter. Low filter basically it makes it like a pattern with the filter. That's why it's called Fruity Low Filter. But it's with the pH. I don't know why it does that, but it has a pH in it. And you can affect the way the filter works or the filter operates by changing this right here. You can change this to like change the XY modulation here, and this is like the circle. I'm gonna just have it like somewhere, I guess, like right here. See how it sounds. Ooh, I like that. That sounds pretty nice. And I guess right here is where like it's kind of like a low pass filter. So like it would pick up the low frequencies more than the high frequencies. So right now it's picking up the bass and shit. So it'd be like this. It's literally picking up like all the low frequencies and everything. For I guess right here, if it was all X and no Y's, this would be the high pass. So it will hear like everything except for the beat. I mean, or except for the bass, maybe. I don't know. I haven't really tried the whole X thing. But yeah, you see how the low filter is used. I usually just leave this shit alone and just have it in the middle, have it in the center. But I don't know. Maybe someday on another beat or something like that, I'll actually have the low filter be used in a whole different way and shit. Don't know. Can't really tell you guys if I'm ever going to use this anytime soon. But yeah, usually low filter. That's the shit. That's the plugin to use. But anything else, you know, I haven't really been experimenting. Usually I will experiment, but sometimes some of these things aren't worth experimenting on. Like for example, like this shit right here, peak controller, it doesn't do shit. It doesn't do anything at all. I don't know. I mean, it does, but like, it's not needed for this beat in general or any beats I'm going to make in the future. So why do I need it? You know. There's also, I believe there's a soft clipper right here. This soft clipper right here actually helps with kicks. For example, if the kick is a little bit too low, you basically just put the post up, threshold up, or you know whichever you need to do to make sure that your kick is a little bit loud. and you know, it actually gives a thump to that shit. Anything else? There's a stereo enhancer. Stereo enhancer, it enhances the stereo, obviously, because, you know, it moves the shit to the left, plays all in your left ear, and move that shit to the right, plays all in your right ear. Yeah, whoop-de-whoop-de-doo. Anything else? No, there was one stereo shaper, is that it? Now, stereo shaper, you can change whether you want it to play in your left ear or your right ear. And usually if you just put both down, it plays in both. Well, that sounds really fucking crazy. Let me just turn that shit. Let me just take that fucking off. I never really knew what this is about. Let me see. Yeah, we don't really need that. But yeah, I'm just, you know, sometimes you just gotta experiment sometimes. I never really, what the hell is this? Control surface? I never really tried this. This is nothing. Why is this even here? No one fucking knows. Anyway, William's over here freaking out in the chat. I'm getting pretty tired. It's 3:05 in the damn morning. I might stay up a little bit longer though. But yeah, this is all I got for now. This is all. I don't know. I might finish it because I think I'm heading somewhere good. I believe I'm heading somewhere good with this beat. But for now, right now, this is all I got.
Uber Beats on the track.
Alright, that's basically about it. Alright, so I'm going to end off the stream here. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have, you know, I'm pretty sure you guys are probably viewing this on like some fucking, probably like after the whole stream is over. You guys are probably viewing it after the stream is all over and everything. William, shut the fuck up. I see you messaging me. Shut up. Anyway, I'm going to go. Hope you guys had a great day or a great night, whatever. And why the fuck is Win on camera?
Why the fuck is wind on camera?
Did you just say that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna just sit here and just look at you, Wind.
You gonna ask her on a date or what?
Anyway, I'm gonna just lower them down because I don't know why the hell Wind's on camera, but yeah, he's on camera. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.